watching TitoFit, and my name is Jeridan, and in this channel we talk about health, fitness, wellness, those kinds of things. So if you're So if you saw our most recent video, you know that we are running a half marathon, a virtual one if you will, since these wide-scale events are still not allowed. Well, at least here in the Philippines, they're not allowed yet, so we have to do this virtually. So we're doing a half marathon. So I decided to make a video about the stuff that you might need to make your longer distance runs a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more bearable, depending on where you are at. Alright, so the very first thing you have to take care of is that you have the proper gear for running. So let's start with the basics, your clothing. So with your clothing, of course, running is done with your feet. So the most important thing is to wear running shoes. Now you need to wear a proper running shoe and not training shoes, not shoes like Nike Metcons, which we review a lot in this channel because primarily we do lift weights, do high intensity interval training, CrossFit, that kind of thing. Those are not the proper shoes for running, especially when you're going longer distances above 5K or so. So, you know, if they're your 400-meter runs for rounds, that's fine. But for once you start going about 5 kilometers or maybe 3 miles in the imperial system, you may have to do a proper running shoe. So personally, what I use is the Nike Infinity React Flyknit 2. Those are what I've been using, so they work pretty well for me. So this is the shoe, this is the actual shoe. I like it. It's more biased towards a more neutral foot or neutral running position. So if you have the chance, you can get measured, have your feet analyzed, have your gait analyzed so that you can get the proper shoe for you. Next up, we're gonna need the proper actual clothing. So your shirt, your shorts, things like that. So one of the most important things is that your tank top or your running singlet is that it has breathable fabrics, that the fabrics are breathable. Second is that the material wicks away sweat so that you don't run with like a heavy piece of drenched fabric on your body. So it has to wick away sweat and moisture, and that it's very breathable, it lets air in, things like that. Then next, number 3, another good idea is to wear compression shorts. So compression shorts will keep everything in place, it will support you, it'll possibly let the muscles fatigue a little bit longer. You know, it'll take the muscles a little bit longer to fatigue. I think that's a proper way to say it, to describe it. And in some cases, it will prevent chafing between the legs because that is a very real problem when you run longer distances. There's gonna be chafing. So some of the good brands like 2XU or 2XU, how do you say that brand? So some of the good brands will like even say that it's anti-chafing. Next up, number 4 is you want a pair of running socks. So let's go back to the feet. Now, a lot of these will be a blend of polyester and nylon. You don't want cotton socks because once your feet get really wet and sweaty, or all that sweat comes down from the rest of your legs down to your feet are gonna chafe with a cotton fabric. So cotton's not the best thing to run in as well. So you could have a polyester nylon blend of socks. You know, quick Google search in your area will reveal the best running socks that are available for you. Personally, I've been using a 2XU or 2XU. Again, let me know in the comments, how do you say that brand properly? For those of you who are runners and watch our videos, let me know guys. I don't know how to say it. Is it 2XU? Is it 2XU? I know it's an Australian company, but that's all I know about it. Or maybe I'm wrong about that too. You never know. Anyways, number 5, this isn't actually a piece of clothing, but it will help you. Oh my god, it's such a game changer. My first couple of weeks running, I went without this, but then I learned the benefits of petroleum jelly or lube. And rub it inside your thighs, around here, like the tank top where your armpit or your armpit hits that fabric, and the nipples. Your nipples are also gonna need some of that lubrication because after the run, after a long run, I realized when I went to the shower, 1, yeah, there was some chafing between my legs. 2, there was a little bit here, but then the worst part for me was that when I showered, I think from the chafing of the fabric or the shirt, the tank against my nipple, I got a little rash there, like a wound. And it's not the funnest thing to have, so there. Petroleum jelly goes a long way. Next up, let's move on to accessories. So we are in a post-pandemic world right now. So the next thing you need is a sports mask. because if you run, definitely it depends on where you live. Like I know in Singapore that because clients that I train who are based out of Singapore, that they are allowed to do outdoor exercise without a mask. So if your country or your city, wherever you're watching this from, allows you, probably not gonna need it. But here in the Philippines, we still need a mask to run. So a sports mask would be best, because one of those surgical masks, once you sweat on your face, especially if you're like me, it's weird. Okay, so we have a video about the best sports masks, so check that out. I personally prefer the Zamst mask. P29 is not bad either. So check out that video if you really want to see an exhaustive review on those masks. Next, we as a society have evolved to not be able to live without our smartphones. And the next thing you need, especially if you have an app like Strava, where you track your runs, things like that, you're gonna need a mount for your phone. So personally, I use a quad lock armband, because I use this quad lock case for my motorcycle riding. So there, I just got but you know, there are other brands, like I think even like the mainstream brands like Nike and Adidas make these kinds of armbands for your phone. Another thing is, it's because you need one because it's annoying to have it in your pocket and have it like just flailing around in your pocket. Number 3, a pair of wireless earphones. Okay, you can use your AirPods Pro if you're in the Apple ecosystem. Austin uses those. I use Powerbeats. I like the secure ear clip. It's done well for me so far. I've been using this for but I've been using them for 2 years now, and no problems here. So wireless earphones, you know, if you like to run to music or listening to a podcast, definitely some people like to be more productive with their runs and hit 2 birds with 1 stone. So you may want to have one of these. So I'm sure there are a lot of other cheaper options out there, and let me know in the comments down below if you do you like listening to music, do you listen to podcasts when you're running, or whatever. Let me know down in the comments below. Number 4, another thing, a smartwatch. So you may be tracking your runs, your heart rate, things like that, your efforts, and a smartwatch could be very good. So there are a lot of other options in the market, like Garmin, things like that, Fitbits. I just use an Apple Watch because, like I said, I am an Apple simp. And I have been in the Apple ecosystem for quite some time. So, you know, just to make everything simpler, just buy everything from Apple. So please don't bash me in the comments down below for choosing Apple, but it is what it is. Alright. Number 5, you may want a belt for your hydration, for your keys, for your mobile phone if you're not using an armband. So things like that. There are available belts. So some call them hydration belts, some call them utility belts. But when you say utility belt, Batman comes to mind. So if you have some unfulfilled fantasies of becoming Batman as a child, now is your chance to wear a utility belt. So a lot of these are fairly inexpensive. They range all the way from $20 all the way to $60. It really depends on your preference. For the really longer runs, you'll have multiple hydration packs, and they can go as much as like 12 ounces per, and then you'll have like really like literally like 4 or 5 of those. But sadly, you can't throw them around as boomerangs for your enemies. So there it is. Alright, and then I'm gonna give you guys a little bonus here. So last bonus for your runs to make them more comfortable is you may want some sports gels. So personally, I've tried Cliff. I've also seen GU or GU. How do you say that? So please guys, let me know in the comments. Is it said GU? Is it pronounced GU? I'm new to the running space, so please excuse my ignorance as far as the names of these brands are. And let me know down in the comments below if you have any suggestions for gear and things like that. You know, everyone likes to be a little bit of a gearhead. On the other hand, there are some people who are minimalists. Whatever floats your boat, whatever helps you run. So you may or may not need all of this stuff, or some of them at least. But anyway, you know, we have different preferences on our runs. I personally like running with music, or sometimes even a podcast. You know, it helps me pass the time a lot faster. And I can always look at my smartwatch to see if I'm exerting too much. But other people like to be more intuitive with this stuff. And course, that's really a issue of personal preference. So, thank you. If you've made it all the way here, please give this video a like and let us know down in the comments. Are you liking these videos of running that we've been doing? Let us know. We're about to run in a week's time, or less. So we are going to document that as well. So make sure to wait for that video. It's coming up really, really soon. And thank you guys. We'll see you in the next one.